We have a question that's coming on our website now. Shailesh Khandelwal says that he invested in the property in 2007. It was a tripartite agreement between HDFC Bank, the builder and himself. The property was sold to him in a manner that the payments would only begin when possession was obtained. However, the builder ran away and the bank, it was later revealed, had disbursed 100% of the loan to the builder immediately after Shailesh signed the agreement. Now, there are around 250 odd affected parties, multiple cases ongoing in this particular project, including Shailesh's. However, his CIBIL rating is 626 and he is now unable to secure a home loan to buy another property. He has had no other default apart from this cheating case. He says he's distressed, has nowhere to go to secure a home loan. What can he do? Now, Kartik, this is precisely what we caution people against.
Absolutely.
Time and again on this channel when they call in and say that, they're getting free, no EMI till possession kind of schemes. And this is obviously, this is a loan he must have taken right at the beginning when those 2080 schemes and all of those hit the market, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we've said this thing on this channel itself a number of times that, do not greedily just run into a property just because you don't have to pay an EMI. See, understand one thing. For the builder, he needs a cheaper source of finance. If he cannot get it directly on his credentials, what he started doing is he started doing it on your credentials. And the way he started luring all the customers is that I will give you zero EMI or no EMI facility, so on and so forth, or a 2080 scheme, just pay 10%, 20%, and the rest of it you start, so what that means is that you start paying the EMIs to the bank after that. But in the interim, what's going to happen is on your credentials, the builder borrows money from the bank and your flat obviously or your property is as a collateral to the bank. So the bank is pretty much happy saying that they have a collateral. And this is a situation that can happen. Now, this is an extreme situation where he's absconding, but there could be very, very live situations and, possible situations where the builder is actually defunct, bankrupt, whatever the case might be, or his cash flows are stuck and therefore he's not being able to deliver the property to you. Now, what will you do in this whole situation? Yes, you can't get another home loan, but at the same time, the bank, and by the way, I do not think that HDFC Bank gives home loan. I think you're referring to HDFC Limited. Okay. So having said that, HDFC Limited is an extremely strong company when it comes to due diligence and when it comes to doing technical analysis of a property. They are extremely good at it. So I'm actually a little surprised that this happens with HDFC being in the picture. Now, having said that, the only person who can really finance you for another loan is HDFC. And what is the option that you really have? So there are one or two of these options. Either you can continue to pay the EMI, for nothing, and you have no idea of when you're going to get your property, and you're already probably doing legal cases at the same time. The other idea is what can happen to you really? The only thing that can get messed up is your CIBIL score. That's about it, because the EMI is really in your control. Ultimately, what you do, whether you decide not to pay or to pay, you need to safeguard your money. Right? Now, HDFC, for example, like you, is actually more worried than you are because they are the ones who actually given the loan to the builder and he is not constructing the property at the moment. So while HDFC does its own machinery, maybe they will enact SARFAESI Act, they will activate that. Under the SARFAESI Act, if you are going to default deliberately on your loan, for example, if you take that stand, they will start the SARFAESI Act, they will acquire your property, but there is no property. So what you only have is a guarantee of a future property and the land at the moment. And that they will do across all the other borrowers. In fact, all the lenders will together acquire the land.
Are you suggesting that all these borrowers, default together on their loans? It's a very
very hard sort of a decision to take. But
not just a hard decision. What you're suggesting is very contrary to what we've been hearing.
We've always been saying. Yeah. So the thing is now, the question comes in terms of your existence. You only earn that much amount of money. I am talking about a seriously radical step here. Because on the other hand, you bought a house. If this is your first house, then you actually need money to pay rent somewhere, if nothing else. So what are you exactly going to do? Are you going to continue serving a defunct loan situation, or are you going to safeguard your family? I mean, it's a very big decision that a lot of people will have to do in this kind of a situation. So ultimately what you do is your choice, but I'm personally thinking that HDFC can give you the loan. Second thing is, if you did default, you'll have a lot of cash flow in hand by which you could do something else, and your CIBIL will definitely get very, very adversely damaged.
No, but tell me this, Kartik. Is what is HDFC's liability over here? Aren't they, responsible in some fashion? Because at the end of the day, they had done the due diligence on a property.
And they have also signed the agreement. They already know exactly what's happening. Agreement. And it is only HDFC who's going to mess up the entire CIBIL records for you, by the way.
So since he says it is a group and they are quite a numerous group,
That's
Do you
right.
suggest that all of them approach HDFC together and
Absolutely.
speak to them and tell them that
Absolutely.
unless you sort this out, we are all going to default on our loans?
Definitely I'm making one absolute blanket assumption here that HDFC has taken some sort of mortgage. So if they don't have the mortgage of the property, they will obviously have some recourse to the land. The court will step in and maybe hand over that land because he's already absconding, right? So now somebody has the title to that land. Maybe they will acquire that land and then, that entire land parcel could be given to another developer who will come and do a construction for all of you there. So it's going to be a very sticky situation. It's going to take a hell of a long time to get resolved.
Right.
But in the meanwhile, the only person to talk to is HDFC.
So Shailesh, a very radical solution over there. But like you said, there are 250 odd people who are stuck in this particular project. And if all of them have executed tripartite agreements, it's probably time that you go and speak to HDFC over here and tell them that, this is a property that you did the due diligence on. Help us out or we'll have to default.
On our website, mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at magicbricksnow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.